This is the Audiomack Hear Her Voice Creatives panel. Of course, we're still in Women's History Month, and this is a way for Audiomack to really highlight different women in media and in music. And so I'm excited to be the moderator and the host for today. I'm one of Audiomack's freelance writers. I'm a contributor, and one of my missions is to help bring a platform, to women and help them display their voices and really highlight, their talents. So I'm glad that we could have you all here today, because it's a mix of different, music and backgrounds. We have dance, electronic, little R&B, little hip hop. So it'll be cool to hear everyone's sides of just their experience in the music industry. So before I get into all the questions, I just want everyone just to introduce themselves, just so the people that are watching can kind of get a feel for who you are, just like where you're from, your name, and all of that. So we could start with MNDR.
Hey, I'm MNDR. I'm an artist, a producer, and a writer. I currently live in LA, but I've lived all over the place, and a vast musical background and music degree, and spent a lot of time early on with digital music and sound design and a lot of experimental music. And I am currently in LA working on people's records as a producer. I do writing, and today I just had my first warm-up single for my second album dropped today, so with Big Data. So it's called Save Yourself, and yeah, so that's me.
Awesome, really exciting. So Maria Isabel, just let us know a little about yourself.
Hi, so I'm Maria Isabel. I am a Dominican singer-songwriter, originally from Queens, New York. I just moved to LA, so I'm here now. Just put out my first project a few months ago, and now just working on the next music.
Awesome, well, we're glad to have you here. Big Jade, how about you? Just tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Now let me unmute because I don't know how to work all this. Okay, so what's up? I'm Big Jade. I'm from Beaumont, Texas, but I just got signed to Alamo, so I moved to Houston. I got that fire on the way. I'm a lyricist, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I grew up rough, but shit, I still had fun, and it just come out in my music or whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, Big J from Big Money, Texas.
Texas always brings that energy, so we're glad to have you on the panel too.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And last but not least, Stunna Girl. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's poppin', y'all? I'm Stunna Girl. I'm from Sacramento, California, and I be rapping. I'm signed to Epic, and I just dropped the tape.
Okay, awesome. When is the tape coming out?
It is dropped like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Right, awesome. That's something to look out for. The first question that I want to ask, because I feel like, with women in music, even myself as a journalist, I always find myself having to work 10 times harder to, create my own lane in this industry and just have the respect that I know I deserve. But as, you women as artists, what are some of the issues that you faced while trying to make a name for yourself, whether it's people maybe not taking you seriously or just trying to fight for the attention that you know?
I feel like why we always gotta have sex with the rappers. Like I see all the the male rappers link up, they be getting on features, they chilling, they having fun, they vibing. Then when they come to us, they want to text and want some pussy or want to have sex or something. Just like, damn, do y'all do that to the niggas? Like, why can't you be your homegirl, kick shit, get on a song? Why you want to smash?
It's like their minds always just go straight to sex. They never talk about your actual talent or who you are as a person. So I definitely agree with that one.
I've probably I'm definitely the oldest of, so I've been doing it a second. And I've been working on this. I was like a touring musician, but for the past 12 years, I've been on this side of the business. And all I can say is that there's a lot of, again, I agree with Big Jade. There's a lot of dynamics in the room that don't need to be in the room, whether like, you know, exploited sexually or just being taken seriously for the work and the achievements that you have and your creativity. Like, I feel like it's changing. I've seen it. I felt it change, but like rewind even like 4 years ago, like the dynamics were just very role based. Like girls sing, boys make the beats, blah, blah, blah. Like boys are technical. Just a lot of like really archaic ideas about who should be doing what in a room. But I feel it changing. And I'm seeing it and experiencing it change, which is exciting.
Nice.
Also, just to add to what Big Jade said, I do feel like that's a huge part of it. And even when that's not explicitly the intention, like there's still so much you have to think about going into a room, because like I feel like any guy I know that's going to the studio never thinks twice about his outfit. And like I have to think about who I'm going into the room with and if I'm going to be uncomfortable with like how much I'm showing or whatever, and the kind of attention I'm going to get and how serious they're going to take me. Which is all really just annoying and so much extra work to have to think about that before you leave the house. And also I'd say one other thing I noticed just at least when starting a few years ago was that I feel like as a female, when you walk into the room with the business aspect, it feels like people are more almost like they feel the need more often to tell you what you're going to be or what you should sound like or what you should look like. I feel like men in general, when they walk into the room, it's very like, here's what it's going to be like for me. And with women, I feel like people feel more of a need to give their opinion or their say on what you should be doing all the time.
And we never ask for their opinions. They just feel
Right.
they
Right.
feel they're entitled to that, which that's one of my biggest issues when it comes to the industry.
I had somebody, like I had a party promoter text me and say, yo, Jade, I think you should start rapping nasty and doing this and doing it, you know, so you can get the attention like the other girls, da-da-da, this and then just like, baby, listen, I hate when people try to tell me what they think I should do, like, so I can get attention. Like, first of all, if I get up there trying to do what the other girls do, it's gonna look like I'm trying to do what they do. I'm gonna look whack as hell and corny. Like, some girls look really good up there doing it. That is gonna be awkward for me, trying to throw that ass and make that ass like, I don't know how to do all that. But if I did, I would, but I don't. So it's just gonna look whack, me trying to do what other girls do.
And, you know, well, speaking of other girls and MNDR, you kind of brought this up earlier. There has been, I think we're making more of a stride to have more women in the spotlight. I mean, in my opinion, the women rappers are doing a lot better than the men right now. And I feel like you see a lot of camaraderie, you know, within the rap community. And even with pop, you know, all the pop girls, they're either supporting each other on social media or they're collaborating together. So I think, you know, there's definitely change that's been happening. But I just want to know, in your opinion, like, what are certain changes that you've seen in the industry where women are being able to like work together more and support each other more?
I think that I've been working hard for 12 years to change the roles of who women can be in a studio and what those, and redefining that and smashing these glass ceilings that just seem like really ridiculous and stupid, to be really honest with you. And I got to give it up to like the rappers, like, you know, like Cardi and Megan are outwardly working together. Women, we need to work together, not only in front of the camera, but women and artists need to be working with us producers, because the only change is going to come from the artists. The industry is built a certain way. It's a giant dinosaur. And until that money talks, and until we, on our own merits, break through and have a hit, it ain't going to change. It's going to be at the slow pace we're at. But I have faith. There's so much young, amazing talent coming up. But just like everything in the world, women, we have to redefine and make up our own reality, because there hasn't been one for us to model ourselves off in a significant way. There isn't like a female Quincy Jones to look up to. This just doesn't exist. So we have to make this up and support each other, and all boats rise. All boats rise. But if we let the industry pit us against each other and puppet the system, just like in any way, in the dynamics in the room, who's working on what. It's just going to be the slow pace. We'll get there, but we could get there a lot quicker.
I like that. Yeah.
What she said.
You put it perfectly.
Imagine if you heard a record made by all women with an X, like people who are underrepresented. Imagine that perspective. We're talented. We're talented. We're just not getting the opportunity. And unfortunately, the business isn't going to give it to us until it makes money, because we're in the music business. We're in the business of music. So it's going to come from the artists. And the artists that are being brave about it, sorry, watch the Grammys. Didn't see a lot of brave artists on there. Saw a lot of dudes. Saw a lot of dudes behind a woman. Taylor Swift, what's up, girl? Let's get on it. Let's change it. I see women's, I see it in the rap world though. I see it in the rap world. Wonder Girl, there's amazing stuff happening there. Pop seems to be like, we're just going to do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and actually, if I'm cutting anyone off, I'm sorry. But to that point, you know, seeing Taylor Swift is supposed to be this, and to whoever's watching, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, I'm not trying to be offensive.
There's no hate towards her creativity.
But I'm just saying she's meant to be this like American, like the American dream girl, you know what I mean? But anytime she wins an award, who's behind her? All men. Same thing
with 12 Swedish dudes.
Yeah, say it again.
Said a team of like 6 to 12 men.
Yeah, it's this, and same thing with Adele when she swept the Grammys a few years ago. All of her team members, well, almost all of her team members were men on that stage. So I definitely agree with you that women.
I feel like we really can't get mad that is nothing but men in a circle, and nothing her men in her circle helping us, because women so catty, they don't know how to be happy for a person. We don't know how to, okay, you the star, you the person that we pushing, we all finna get behind you and make this work. I feel like women get jealous hard and fast. That's just how I feel.
This isn't the spirit of jealousy. I'm not, what I'm saying is like the power of that artist to put on women is huge. The difference she could make. She talks a lot, and I'm not singling her out. I'm talking about any artist that talks about changing the discourse for women in roles, in their roles in the music making process. Unfortunately, just like everything, we have to raise all of each other up at the same time. And it's like, if you're going to talk about it and you're going to let it further your brand, then you got to put it in motion. You can't just talk about it so we can celebrate you for caring that day. You got to hit us up. I have 2 music degrees. Want to talk about music? I can make you some music. We're good on that. And it's not even about me, and I'm not jealous. Girl, get Taylor Swift do your thing. I'm just saying, like, you have the platform to change a lot. And what are you scared of? You could do it.
But I feel like that's not just her. There's a lot of females. Like, we don't work with each other. We don't work with each other until we popular. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen no female work with another female if she wasn't popping. Just because I genuinely like your music and feel like you go hard. If you go to a person page, they not verified, they don't got 100,000 likes, 100,000 people, then a person, they really you really not, you know what I'm saying? It's, to me, you really not doing nothing new. If y'all two got on the song together and y'all both already on the same level, like, what, I mean, I don't get it. Y'all not pulling other people up. Or I just feel like women don't get on songs with each other until it's beneficial to them both. If you're not beneficial, then you artificial. I feel like that's how a lot of women, I feel like we sitting there, we like, oh, women empowerment, they did a song together, but it's just like, it made sense for them to do a song together. Why wouldn't they? So popular. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I seen no woman uplift for another woman. She got 0 following, no fan base, no nothing, but I watched her and I feel like she genuinely went hard. She'll be a problem in the industry. Let me do a song with her and put her on. Hell no. They'll sit there and watch you, don't follow you, hit you in your DM and say you go hard, but then couldn't publicly put it on my post and say I went hard. Or couldn't get me in the studio and let's do a song if you feel like I go hard. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I watch females work together that's on the same level. I never seen nobody pull nobody up.
I'm always working with new talent.
I don't know you. You feel me? I'm speaking you right now today. I'm saying I'm saying the influences that we have. You know what I'm saying? The girls that we're up to, that we seeing popular. You know, are they on? I just feel like shit, yeah, y'all doing songs with each other, but I never personally seen nobody go back and just put somebody on. They already be in position.
Yeah. To that point, I actually want to bring up this question. Have you guys found it even more challenging to find women mentors in the industry, whether it be another rapper or a producer, a manager, someone you could actually trust and relate to as a woman in the industry to give you some advice and kind of help you find your way in the business? This question goes for everyone.
I have. Like I had an interview with Adina. I didn't know about her name because I'm younger, but it's the woman that sung T-shirt in my panties on. That woman, like, you know, she sung that in. When I talked to her, I feel like she chopped it up. She gave me a lot of game. Like it just went like, I feel like she gave me some advice that helped me. Like she told me some stuff that I ain't know. Cause for me, listening to her singing T-shirt and panties, I'm thinking she coming up there with no clothes on or overly sexualizing herself. But she probably was up there with a sweater on because she was raised, you feel me, in the church. She wasn't even, that's just how she was singing. So I got a lot of insight, I feel like, from her. Like, I feel like she honestly, truly, like, gave me advice. Like, she really, like, sat there and chopped game with me.
Anyone else? Maybe Maria?
They definitely exist, and like I am grateful for the women I've met in the last few years within the industry that have helped me a lot. But I do think that you have to like actively seek them out if they're not immediately in your circle. I've definitely, in just like building my team in the last few years, have made it a goal in my head. Even just, I mean, of course, I want to empower all women, but even just for the sake of my comfortability, like I want to have women in the room. And I've had to like actively seek out like A&Rs who are female, producers who are female, just anybody on my managing team. Like I feel like you outwardly have to express that that's what you're looking for to find it sometimes.
Yeah. What about you, Stunna? Did you have any issues, or maybe you had some, beneficial moments where you were able to find women mentorship?
Is it on me? Actually, when I was like first started off rapping, I didn't have any mentors or nothing. But like once I got, signed, I met, my A&Rs, they were women. And that made me realize that there's actually people or women, in the rap industry that, do help you and can guide you. Just like Sylvia Rome, she's the owner of the label. She's a Black woman, and she gave me a lot of advice too. So yeah.
Cool. And I was actually going to bring up Sylvia Rome because I feel like we're kind of getting to a place where the higher ups, like the C-suite, are becoming more women faced. I know Atlantic, their entire PR team is all women. There's Sylvia Rome at Epic. Ethiopia Haribin, she's now the president over at Motown and Universal. So I feel like I think it's important for the artists to, of course, make a difference, but I think it trickles down from the label executives. So I just want to get your thoughts on that, on having more women in the label positions in order to make things work for their actual artists.
Who you talking to?
Anyone could answer. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I feel like, cause my label, I'm signing Alamo, and I feel like everybody that helped me, like the person that found me was actually a man, but everybody who helped me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Stunna was saying, like people, guide her in the right way, whatever, just help you, give you advice or whatever. I feel like for me getting signed, I did have to see like, damn, it's really a lot of women behind the scene, making it happen, even for the males, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my PR, like Martha, like I see her on the label, like she do everything for the guys. Like she is the machine behind them, but it's a woman, you know what I'm saying? But we don't know that because we just seeing them, popping that shit on Instagram. But I don't know, I feel like for me, I like the fact that it's a lot of women on my label, because when it's debates about me or how I should dress or what I should do, it's actually women standing up for me, putting their input in, you know what I'm saying? And for me, for women to call it what you want, for women to be on a meeting arguing about how I need to look or dress or do, like, it make me feel good because it make me feel like they care. They just want me to put out, you know what I'm saying, with my best foot forward, basically. So I feel like it's clutch. Like when it come to men, they don't care how you feel. You finna do it like this. We finna get the bag. That's how it is. But I feel like women care more so how you feel. You know what I'm saying? They get up there and they really stand up for you and talk for you. So.
Yeah. Anyone else want to chime in with that question?
Oh, it's on me. I can even tell. Yeah, like my manager, she's a woman too. She dragged me into this Zoom call because I was dead to the world. But you know, like who's gonna come to your house and be like, you know, get up, get out the bed, you know what I'm saying? So definitely a woman, because I also have a male manager and he's definitely not gonna come knock at my door and be like, you know, get up or help me or groom me or whatever, you know. So yeah.
And you want to say something, Amanda?
Yeah, I just wanted to like say, like, you know, for me and I've worn a lot of hats, I guess, in this industry, from artist to producer and writer, and the only people that were A&Rs that understood what I wanted to do and where I wanted to point my career were like Maria Egan, Ashley Calhoun, to see that like this is what I have done, but that doesn't only define me, and this is what I can do, and this is the collaborations I want to, like, this is actually the breadth of what I'm able to do, and they're able to see it and start crafting, you know, a path into different creative collaborations with different artists that I think I've only experienced a woman being able to see like, oh, I don't just see you on a piece of paper and what you have written or have achieved as an artist or produced. I hear what you're saying and I hear what you're making and I see it here. And that's been really inspiring for me.
I love that. Well, so I've done, you know, panels like this before a lot during Women's History Month and throughout, you know, different eras. And one thing that I always see, like, it's the big trend is us women saying, you know, oh, we're doing the work, you know, we're coming together, like we have to support each other. But I never really hear the men saying anything. It's mainly just us women be like, okay, let's see what we have to do to, you know, make this, like, move this forward. But you know, for people when they watch this, specifically, I'm targeting the men right now. How do you think the men in the industry should be helping the women? Because I feel like it always falls on our shoulders to help progress change, and there should be more of an even balance with that.
I think the very first thing is like, this is the perfect example. I mean, this is a beautiful thing that like we get to be together and not have men here and speak about it within our own experience. But at the same time, it's like when things like this happen, where are the men, you know, like at least not necessarily in this case, but like within a company or the way like during the entire pandemic, right? There have been so many discussions of race within businesses, and it's like, all of the Black employees at a company are on a Zoom talking about what they can do to increase diversity, but no one in the position to help is on the call. And then it's just like relaying information. Like, I feel like you need to be down in the trenches with us, like listening to the issues and talking about how you can make change.
I definitely agree with that.
I feel like I don't really know, just because like my manager is a man, and I feel like I don't think a female, and it's just me, like, because I done had a female manager, I feel like my female manager don't go, but you know, different strokes for different folks, because the manager that I got on God, he gonna pull up to the crib, if I catch a flat, I can call him. If I got a personal situation that have nothing to do with music, I can call him. Like, I got a lot of legal stuff going on, like I got jammed up doing a lot of crazy stuff, so, you know what I'm saying, even we go and get my vehicle or go and get my crib, just certain stuff like that, like, he handled it. Like, he makes sure I'm straight. Like, I'm not really sure if a female artist, like, a female manager would have been a good fit for me, because I'm so aggressive. Like, and people take me wrong. Like, people take like I'm being rude or I'm being, you know, so I feel like I definitely needed a man manager, like, because I just feel like he just come through like a dad for me. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, I feel like I really don't know. Like, I feel like males do what they get away with, what we let them get away with. Like,
Interesting.
How I feel about it is, honestly, I got it by myself. I got it on my own. I got it out the mud. I didn't really feel like I, needed a male to help me do nothing. But that's how I feel about it.
I believe that, like I was talking about before, is we need the man, like men who have achieved great things. I'm really speaking right now in terms of places that are grossly underrepresented in the music making process. So it would be producer, mixer, mastering engineer. I'm really just talking about those three things at the moment. Because we don't have as many women who have achieved great success and have gotten the opportunity to work on big records and to learn, the men who have achieved that need to come in and share the knowledge. And that's a big initiative for me, is who are our allies? And for us to bring up this next generation, it's not about exclusion. It's not about women over here and men over here. It's about, you have all this knowledge because you got the opportunity. See, like the opportunity was expected for you. And especially, I've been in it for a second, like 10, 12 years ago, I was flat out told, female producer, don't bother. You will never get anywhere. And I was told that by one of the biggest managers in the game.
Wow.
And full on. I mean, I got stories for days on that stuff. And I still respect and love that manager. And he has been a guide in my career. But we need to change. We need people who have achieved. They're mostly going to be males because that's just the math of what it is in those roles. That's just what it is. But they need to come to the table and share the knowledge, because most of the studio work, mixing and producing, especially mixing and mastering, is not done in the classroom. It's done as an apprentice working with those people. And I'd say one of the greatest people I've seen that is really furthering this initiative is the amazing mix engineer who's just a legend, Tony Maserati, who mixes, most famously all the Beyonce records. He actively is working to mentor, to hire, to bring up female mix engineers. And that's where really my heart is, because we can't actually do this alone.
I definitely agree with that. So for my next question, I kind of want to bring it on the flip side, a more positive side. Can you recall any moments, whether it was in the studio or at a label meeting or maybe on a video set, where you had a very empowering experience that kind of stuck in your head? It could be from a male or a woman, someone on your team where they kind of really rooted for you and just kind of gave you that fire to keep going. Any moments? No.
I mean, I just feel like I've talked a lot, but maybe I'll like kick it off. I have a couple, like when I worked with Mark Ronson and Q-Tip in the studio. And talking to Q-Tip about lyrics, about a song I'd written that he was putting verses on, really was and I felt like an equal. I felt like a colleague. And that was like one of the, and with Mark and Q-Tip, and it was a very stressful, I was very much intimidated in that situation. As tough as I am, where, and all the hats I've worn and had just come straight from Oakland and New York, I was like, oh my God, these are legends, and I have so much respect for them. And I felt like colleagues that day, and it was a really special experience from both of them.
I love that. I love when people, even no matter where their rankings are, they'll make you feel like you're part of the team rather than looking down on you. I think that's always a step in the right direction. So any examples from you guys who just really dope moments that really gave you that boost of energy?
Am I on?
Yeah, you can go.
pretty much every studio session I had with like big producers. You know, it was like a situation in Miami. There was a producer named Ben Baller, and you know, he didn't even know my music, and he just was going off the strength of what everybody else was telling him. Like, you know, he's like a goat. He's at home. You don't gotta come. You know what I'm saying? He literally came in his sandals, and you know, after the studio session, he's just like, wow, like, you know. So working with all these producers, and then they're just telling me like, you're just so, you know, equipped with it is like crazy too, because you know, working with people I thought I never worked with, and they telling me, you know.
I feel like for me, like a turn up moment for me, like I'm from Texas, so my friends is like DJ Charles and B King. So like for me, I'm a trap rapper, like I'm from the hood. So it'd be crazy to me to hear like my homeboys that like help me make club music, cause I'm a real nigga, I'm a lyricist. I don't do all that weird ass shit. But I feel like for me, like just them pumping me up, like, yeah, you gonna kill them, or yeah, I feel like Stunna said, like anytime you get in the studio with a big producer, it make you feel some type of way, because this person got all these plaques, or this person just a big producer. And I feel like when you working with people that just yes men, like anything you do, they feel like that shit just go hard. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't even, but when you working with bigger producers and shit, it just really just, it amp you up and get you fired up and make you feel some type of way. Like for a nigga to just be like, yeah, you on your shit with it, like you know what I'm saying, you equipped with it, like she said, that shit just turn you up, you know.
Yeah. Maria, did you have any examples?
I know I do. I can't think of a specific one, but I did want to say just more generally, I think like some standout moments for me have just seeing like women take other women on tour, I guess. Like I remember when like Kali Uchis and Georgia Smith went on tour together. Obviously they're not exactly like small underground names anymore, but you know, they have two different fan bases, and to see like them combine a show that way and just kind of like take over a tour together was really cool to see. And like I feel like obviously tours aren't happening in the next few months or whatever, but like Dua Lipa announced a tour with my friend Lolo, who's a sick singer, and you know, on the rise. And I feel like things like that are really cool, as opposed to seeing like two men on tour, like a girl and a dude. It's just nice to see like women doing it together.
That's awesome. I agree with that. Actually, speaking of the pandemic, I always find it interesting whenever I interview artists and kind of get their take on how they're doing, with the quarantine. Like I feel like it's really sparking like creative ways for people to either put out music, whether you're DJing on Twitch or you're doing an Instagram live stream and talking to your fans. So I'm just curious, like how has the quarantine either affected or benefited your creativity as an artist? This is for everyone.
Shit, I feel like,
Go ahead.
oh shit, who finna go? Go ahead, because I just keep talking about it.
Go ahead. No, all you.
I mean, I think my answer wasn't even gonna match, because I just heard quarantine, and all I was finna say was everybody against the quarantine, but babe, I got out of jail doing quarantine, and I got signed doing quarantine, so I ain't against quarantine. Like shit. That's all I.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I know it's been a horrible time for a lot of people, and obviously it's been hard for other reasons, but genuinely the ability to like just hunker down and not necessarily have to work on the same timeline that you do when the whole world is going, things sort of paused and shut down for a while. And I feel like it allowed a lot of us to just kind of sit with what we wanted to say and like really have time to work through the creative process, as opposed to having to think of the business side of like when music has to keep coming out and stuff like that. I think it's been nice to just kind of like lay low, but be able to do what we do,
Awesome.
Well, during quarantine, I remember I just had got signed before quarantine, so I was supposed to be on like tours and all this stuff, and all that stuff got canceled. So, I basically just had to go back to square one and, grind how I started. So I just had to get creative, whether it be with videos or, anything like that. So it really just was being in grind mode in a different way.
Well, shit, I want to say personally, shit, you was a big influence on me because I come up after you. Like, I've been seeing you. Like, literally been seeing Stunna Girl. I've been seeing you before I got signed. All that. When I'm, you feel me, trapping and all that, I'm seeing you. Stunna Girl. So you popping your shit, and I'm like, yeah, this bitch, excuse my language, that's how I'm talking. Like, yeah, this bitch really from the hood. I could tell. I could see it in your eyes. I could tell certain shit. So to me, you was an influence because you somebody that I've been seeing, like underground, like, yeah, she already in my eyes already made it. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So I just want to give you a little props on that because I'm fucking with you. Being
I
fucking with you.
appreciate that for real. Yeah, it takes a real bitch to say that. You hear me? Like, I appreciate that.
Bitches be acting like they don't see you. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, you see me. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I just had to let you know because I know, you feel me? I seen you, been seeing you. So I ain't going to get on the car like, oh, wow. No, I know you.
I love genuine
I've been
like
following
that.
you.
We need more like, authentic, supportive moments. So.
Okay, also while we're doing this, Big Jade, your song randomly came up on my Spotify, had never heard of you, and turning me on is my shit. Just
Ew, oh my God, that is weird.
So good.
That's the most nastiest, grossest song. That's trying to rap nasty, didn't work out. That shit make my skin crawl, but thank you.
I bought it, okay? I bought it.
No
I believed you. That's just fire.
I love it. Amanda, did you want to talk about your time during quarantine, just creatively?
Yeah, it just like slowed down when you're like producing and working with a lot of artists. You realize like I was just nice to like make stuff, like and not be like finishing records or demos or like. I just see. I've really enjoyed just being able to make things without deadlines, heavy deadlines, all the time. Which is really great. I just feel like as artists, like we need to like take a beat sometimes and like really get a second. The demand of like the amount of music we have to put out now and the attention we have to give to social media for any artist, is just really a lot, and it cuts into like your creative side.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious. Just kind of going back to the women industry conversation. Are there any organizations or resources that you guys have used to maybe get advice from women or get support? I'm thinking like Alicia Keys, she's the music campaign, or I can't think of it at the top of my head, but there's an initiative with just female producers and they support each other. There's a songwriters initiative with all women songwriters. So do you guys have like any sources or organizations that you go to kind of seek help, or if you're looking for like a female engineer, you seek help from a certain place?
I don't want to be the first to answer because my answer is no, but no, honestly, that's like a good thing to look out for. But I will say that I just ask other women always. Like if I'm in the room with one female producer, I'm like, good, tell me everyone you know, and like let's just get the ball rolling.
Cool. Well, actually, to that point, since you said no, do you think we should have more initiatives like that? So there's resources for rising women in music to seek out?
I guess so, yeah. I've definitely like the female producers initiative, I feel like I've heard of before, and that definitely like stood out to me in the sense that like, I mean, at this point, like I'm not the one setting up my sessions, but like I'll walk into a room and 9 out of 10 times it is a male producer. So like that does sound like a really helpful thing.
I ain't gonna lie, I just want to work with Missy Elliott. That's all I say. I want to work with Missy Elliott. Once I get that, what I really want, I'm gonna manifest that. Then I just can't see past her.
I just can't, man. Is so real. So
hell yeah, it is. That's what I'm living in right now. I was in jail manifesting shit, trying to make myself go to sleep.
Well, oh, Amanda, I think you were gonna say something.
Just like Maria said, like I feel like all of the female producers, we all know each other, and we all are. If we don't know each other, I've noticed like we're reaching out and like connecting because so many artists are wanting to work with female producers, and I can't tell you, like almost every time I'm producing, an artist will say, "Do you know more female producers?" And it happens not like 100% of the time, and so having a centralized place is I think important. It's a tough industry to do that because it isn't in a meritocracy. It is a very competitive business. But I think like for me, I started a group online because I'm very passionate about knowledge sharing and building the skill sets up for the next generation. My group is called Gacta and Gear. It's on Facebook, and this is a place I moderate it. It's very active and vibrant. It's all about like, here are free plugins. Here are great compression techniques. Here's how to EQ a vocal. It's very like on the ground, like technical things to make like the bass in your song speak, the drums slap. And it also is a place to like share your music, for people to give like works in progress. I share works in progress to get feedback because that's like a big part of growing, and like and also finding really promising, amazing talent where there just aren't avenues for them to speak in a way and connect with people that are working at a higher level. So I'm not on here to like promote my Facebook group that I'm moving to Discord right now, by the way. But I feel like these movements are like, these groups are still like super grassroots, to be honest with you, and it'd be great to like see it in a bigger way. But I actually don't know how we can do that. Because it's such a competitive industry.
Gosh, super cutthroat. But I feel like, panels like this and just helping to bring the word out, make it help, hopefully in a positive way. So one more question I have for you guys before we wrap up. For people who are going to be watching this and women who are trying to find their place in the industry, whether they want to be a rapper, they want to be a producer, they want to be a singer, songwriter, what advice would you give them? Because this is, such a competitive industry. What advice would you give them to help them, stay focused and, push forward?
I feel like, baby, just stay in your own lane. Don't try to do what they do. Be the best version of yourself. If you watching everybody else, you ain't gonna never grow because you can't do nobody else. I can't do no other rap girl. All I can do is Jade. All you can do is be better than yourself and just know, like, you might have a slow start, but you gonna just being yourself, you gonna have that longevity in the game. That's just how I feel.
I agree. Staying true to yourself is the most important thing you can do. I think like you're the one who has to get out there, especially as an artist, you're the one who's getting out there and like singing those songs, telling those stories. Like it's going to be a whole lot easier and way more fulfilling if it's, the real you. And also like, there's no one else. That's like the biggest thing you have to offer. There's no other you in the world. So I think that's what's most important for sure.
Great.
I'll hop in. I think like, I agree with Jade and Maria 100%. Like, you can't be anyone else but yourself. You know what your artistry is. You know how that connects with the fans. The fans are always the most important. Everyone else is noise. Everyone else is noise. The fans are what matter. And the people that are connecting to your music are what matter. Everything else is noise. And also some tactical advice: ask questions before you sign things. Ask questions. And there are a lot of resources about what a publishing deal is. These are very confusing, universes, and they're built to confuse. And they're built to be confusing, not just publishing. I'm not like singling out, but ask questions before you sign deals. It's very important.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you brought that up because I can't tell you the amount of times where I've spoken to artists where they're like, I wish I had a lawyer read my contract. Like, I wish I did this differently. So I think the actual like legalities of the music industry, that's also very important to have a second, third, fourth eye to look at. So definitely important. And Stunna Girl, what about you? Any advice that you'd share?
My advice would pretty much to be, putting that work. You gotta believe in yourself even when nobody else do. Don't wait for nobody to see your vision for you. And just don't wait for nobody to do nothing. Don't wait for nobody. If you need to go shoot a video, you need to go make it happen. Like, don't wait on anybody. Like, just really grind. So that would be my advice.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for this panel. Like I said, I always like to hear, different women's perspective on the industry, just being a journalist. So it's great, hearing what you guys had to say. So actually, before I sign off, like, do you guys want to plug anything? Any new records coming out? Mixtapes? I know, I think Stunna or Big Jade, you have something coming up in a few weeks. I forgot.
Yeah, I got my project dropping like in April 2nd, 3rd is somewhere right there. But y'all need to go follow me on Instagram so I can tap in on everybody. Supports women.
We have everyone's social handles here, but yeah, if you want to plug in your socials, and yeah, just let everyone know what you're doing. Yes, Stunna, what was that? I couldn't see the phone picture.
I was trying to show my tape cover, the name of it. But yeah, I just dropped this tape. It's called Stunna This, Stun It Out. So tap in with me. Yeah, stream Ask About Me.
That's it. Yeah, Maria, what about you? Anything coming up?
Yes, new music next month. I won't say much more, but new music next month.
Awesome. What about you, Amanda? Anything that you want to put out there?
Yeah, I dropped a warm-up single for my sophomore album. Came out today, and it's just gonna be like boom, 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 boom. We're going fast and hard. We're very excited. This album has been rescheduled 5 times, which I'm grateful for the extra time and the new collaborations and features. So you can check out everything. My website is great place, MNDR.com. But my Instagram is the greatest place. So that's MNDR official. And if any y'all's on this Zoom want some beats or tracks or want to work together, like I got tracks, so I can hit you in your DMs. Jade, Maria.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say something. All right.
There you go. We're making things happen already. I love it. Yeah.
And to that note, if y'all
Maria,
like, I do have
a thing, and I gotta tap in with you. I'm gonna tap in with everybody. I'm just gonna go
Absolutely.
do something right quick.
Absolutely.
But I'm a different.
We should all figure out a way to like help each other out. If you guys are looking for like female mix engineers or like anything like that, you can just be in the DMs.
Yeah, I can go ahead. I gotta go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys once again for your time. Like I said, this was amazing. And I just want to plug myself, Bianca and Rogue on Twitter. If anyone wants to see the work that I do, you can check me on Twitter. But yeah, so thank you guys again. This was awesome. Stay safe and, keep the creative wheels turning.